Today we will find electrical field intensity due to spherical charged surfaces. Here there are three types of surfaces. Number one, conducting spherical cell. Number two, dielectric spherical cell. And third, conducting sphere. All these three are equivalent because the charge will be always on the upper surface or outer surface of the spherical cell, which is either conducting or non-conducting, or if it is spherical sphere which is conducting, the charge will be always on the outside. So we will study the electrical field due to charged spherical cell which is conducting, or charged spherical non-conducting cell, or the conducting sphere. So we will use the same procedure and the result will be same. So these three systems are continuous charge distribution are equivalent. So if we take a spherical cell of radius capital R, then the charge is totally distributed on these surfaces. The charge is uniformly distributed on the outer side. The space charge density sigma. Space charge density sigma will be equal to the total charge Q divided by its surface area 4 pi r square, and its unit will be coulomb per meter square. So this will be the charge density on all the three surfaces. Now, second point is, what is the direction of electrical field? The direction of electrical field of a conductor which is spherical in nature is always perpendicular to the surface, because if the electrical field is not normally or perpendicular, then it will have a component of electrical field. The electrical field on the surface will be always normal to the conductor, because if the charge is distributed on the surface and electrical field is not normally, then there will be a component of electrical field on the surface. Therefore, the free electrons will move and it will constitute a current, and which is not possible. So, the direction of electrical field is always perpendicular to the surface or normal to the surface. Now we will find the electrical field of the spherical cell, or spherical cell which is conducting or non-conducting, or the sphere of radius r, and the charge will be distributed only on the upper surface. The radius of this surface is r, and we have to find the electrical field at a point P which is outside the surface at a distance small r. To find the electrical field, we will select the Gaussian surface. The Gaussian surface will be a spherical whose radius will be smaller. Now we consider a small area ds on this Gaussian surface. The direction of electrical field at this point P will be from OP, that is radial. The direction of ds vector or area vector will also be in the same direction. So we can say electrical field and ds both are parallel, or the angle between E and ds is 0. Now we will apply the Gauss law. Now according to Gauss law, the flux will be equal to surface integral E vector dot ds vector is equal to summation qi bata epsilon 0. Now summation of qi is the total charge in the Gaussian surface, and total charge on the Gaussian surface will be equal to the total charge on the spherical cell. So that will be q. So summation of qi is equal to capital Q. Now E dot ds will be equal to E ds cos theta. E ds cos theta, and theta is equal to 0. Surface integral, this will be equal to total Q bata epsilon 0. This is also equal to so total charge can also be written as sigma times 4 pi r square. Sigma is the charge density and 4 pi r square is small r square is the surface of the Gaussian surface, and that will be Q. So cos 0 is equal to 1, so it will be equal to E ds. Now the electrical field at the Gaussian surface is same at all the places on the Gaussian surface. So E will be constant. So we will bring it outside the integral, and E surface integral of ds will be equal to Q bata epsilon 0. Now the total surface of the Gaussian surface will be equal to 4 pi into small r square. So it will be equal to E into 4 pi r small r square will be Q bata epsilon 0. Therefore electrical field will be equal to 1 bata 4 pi epsilon 0 Q square bata small r square. The direction of electrical field will be radial, so we can write electrical field, vector electric field E is equal to 1 bata 4 pi epsilon 0 Q bata small r square into r cap, where r cap is a unit vector in the radial direction. So this relation is same as the electrical field at a point P due to a charge Q which is situated at the center of the spherical cell. It shows that we can consider that the total charge of the spherical cell is situated inside it and at the center. Then electrical field will be same as electrical field due to the charge distribution on the spherical cell. Now second point, we want to find the electrical field inside the spherical cell. So second point of observation is when the electrical field is inside the spherical cell. So this is the spherical cell of radius capital R, and here we take a Gaussian surface of small r where the distance OP is equal to R. So the Gaussian surface will be a spherical cell whose radius is small r. Now the charge on this surface will be outside, so there will be no charge inside the cell. So total Qi inside the Gaussian surface will be equal to 0. So if we apply the Gaussian rho, then the electrical field will be equal to E ds, line surface integral E ds. This is equal to summation Qi by epsilon 0, and summation of Qi is 0. So electrical field will be equal to 0. So there will be no electrical field inside the spherical cell or spherical cell of non-conducting or the conducting sphere. Now we want to find the electrical field at the surface of the spherical cell. Now we substitute small r is equal to capital R in equation number 1. Then the electrical field here will be equal to Q bata 4 pi epsilon 0 into 1 bata capital R square. This will be the maximum value of electrical field. So electrical field will be 0 inside here. The electrical field will be melting on the surface and electrical field will be decreasing as we go away from the surface of the conductor. So we can plot, which is here E will be proportional to 1 by R square. So we can plot a graph between electrical field and distance R. Then up to at the center and up to R, plus R or minus R, then electrical field is 0. Then at R, electrical field is maximum and which is equal to 1 bata 4 pi epsilon Q bata capital R square. Here also and here also. Then afterward, if R is greater than capital R, then the electrical field will be decreasing and it is proportional to 1 bata R square and it will be 0 at infinity. So in this way we can explain the various points where the electrical field changes with the distance R. So we should not be confused by the expressions which are common or same for whether it is a conducting cell or whether it is a dielectric or non-conducting cell or it is a sphere or radius capital R. So in all the three cases, the charge will be only available or only possible on the outer surface. So charge inside is 0. So electrical field inside is 0. And the electrical field will be maximum at the boundary or on the surface and electrical field will be decreasing as we go away from the center, outside the spherical cell. Now we will consider the fourth case when the spherical sphere is non-conducting. When the sphere is non-conducting, the charge is distributed uniformly inside it. So what will be the electrical field? We can find electrical field outside, on the surface and inside. Now what will be the charge density? The charge density will be equal to total charge Q bata the volume of the sphere. So it will be equal to Q bata 4/3 pi capital R cube, where capital R is the radius of the conducting sphere. So this will be the charge density and its unit will be equal to coulomb per meter cube. The direction of electrical field. Direction of electrical field will be always normally to the surface. So it will be always in the radial direction. Now if we take an observation point which is outside the non-conducting sphere and let this point is P here. The distance from the center of the sphere is OP is equal to small r. So now we will construct the Gaussian surface and Gaussian surface will be a spherical cell whose radius is small r. Now we take a small area ds on this Gaussian surface, then the direction of electrical field will be radial, that is in the OP direction. The direction of ds will be normal to the surface, so that will be also in this direction. So we can say electrical field and ds vector both are in the same direction, or the angle between E and ds is equal to 0. Now we will apply the Gauss law. Now according to Gauss law, the surface integral E vector dot ds vector will be equal to summation of charge qi by epsilon 0. Now in the Gaussian surface there will be total charge, which is the charge of the non-conducting, so that is q. So summation of qi will be equal to q. So E dot ds will be equal to q by epsilon 0. Now the angle between E and ds is 0. So it will be E ds cos 0 will be equal to q divided by epsilon 0. Now since angle is 0, cos 0 is equal to 1, so it will be equal to E into ds. And since E is constant, the value of E, the magnitude of E is constant on Gaussian surface, so we can take outside the integral. So E surface integral ds will be equal to q by epsilon 0. Now the total surface integral of ds will be the total surface area of the Gaussian surface, and that will be equal to 4 pi small r square. So electrical field will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by small r square. Or in vector notation, E vector will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by small r square into r cap. So you can see this result is same as electrical field due to the spherical cell which is conducting, or it is a spherical cell of non-conducting, or it's a conducting sphere. So the expression for the electrical field will be same as that of spherical cell which is conducting, spherical cell which is non-conducting, or the conducting sphere. Is same as the electrical field outside the surface will be equal in all the 4 cases. Now we will find the electrical field inside the surface of the non-conducting sphere. In conducting sphere there was no electrical field, so electrical field was 0. But in non-conducting, the electric charges are uniformly distributed inside it. Now we want to find the electrical field at point P, which is at a distance O from center. Then we will draw a Gaussian surface, and Gaussian surface will be a spherical cell whose radius is smaller. Now what will be the charge in this? So the charge in this Gaussian surface will be equal to the charge, volume charge density sigma multiplied by the volume of this Gaussian surface. So this will be equal to Q divided by 4/3 pi r cube multiplied by 4/3 pi small r cube. 4/3 pi cancel. So it will be equal to Q small r cube divided by capital R cube. So this will be the total charge inside the non-conducting sphere whose radius is smaller. Now we will apply the Gauss law. Now according to Gauss law, the surface integral E dot ds will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 or q dash कर दो, or q dash बटा epsilon 0. Now q dash will be equal to total charge q into small r cube बटा capital R cube. Now since on the Gaussian surface the direction of electrical field and the direction of ds area vector, that will be in the same direction, that is radial direction. So the angle between E and ds is equal to 0. So the integral E dot ds will be equal to integral E ds cos 0, which will be equal to integral E ds. Now since electrical field is constant at all points on the Gaussian surface, so we can take the capital E outside. So it will be equal to E surface integral of ds. This is equal to q dash bata epsilon 0, or which is equal to q into small r cube bata capital R cube. So the surface area, total surface area of the Gaussian surface will be equal to 4 pi small r square. So capital E into 4 pi small r square will be equal to q into r cube bata capital R cube epsilon 0. So we can find the capital E. Capital E will be equal to 1 bata 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by capital R cube into R square. R cube divided by R, so there will be R. So it will be, the electrical field will be proportional to small r, means distance from the center. So in vector notation we can write electrical field E will be equal to 1 bata 4 pi epsilon 0 q divided by capital R cube into R vector. It shows that the electrical field will be proportional to the radius of the Gaussian surface or distance from the center inside the non-conducting sphere. Now at x is r is equal to 0, और at the center क्या होगा? Small r will be equal to 0. So electrical field will be 0. The electrical field will be 0 at the center. So we can plot the graph between electrical field and distance r. At center the electrical field is 0. Now up to the radius of the capital R, what will be the electrical field at the surface? At the surface we will substitute the small r is equal to capital R in this equation. So the electrical field at the surface will be equal to 1 bata 4 pi epsilon 0 q bata capital R square, which is the maximum electrical field. So at the distance capital R towards right side or left side minus r, it will be maximum value, and its value will be equal to k 1 bata 4 pi epsilon 0 capital Q bata R square. Between 0 and r, it will be linearly proportional or E proportional to small r, so it will be a straight line. And outside the electrical field is proportional to 1 bata R square, so it will decrease continuously and it will be 0 at infinite. So similar graph is towards the right side and left side. So in this way we can find the electrical field of conducting sphere, non-conducting sphere, conducting cell and non-conducting cell. Over.